King of Elite Runners, Elite Godston is here to show you some more Pixel Gun 3D content, but this one it's still giving more about the 100 tier list of my videos for this, but I'll still do some gameplay on it, but don't forget, some of these gameplays, and yes, I'm playing this on the PC, but some of the actual gameplays will actually be on live streams, and one of my friends did suggest me to do a actual live stream on something else, but I'd rather wait a little bit because I need to check like all the drawing a blank here. Check on the actual like settings. That's where it is. I don't know why it was so hard for me to figure that out anyway, but anyways, I found a better idea on actually doing this, but it will still be in the actual tier list settings for what it is, so it'll still be counted as the OG and 3 cat spam weapon, decent for casual players, and I never used this weapon before. So going off one by one will be what weapons I'll do, and maybe if you guys want me to, I'll probably do a live stream of all the weapons, like a storyline of it, about like what I had so far, and a storyline of what it was all about. But this is just only the first 100, and this is only part 4 of it, I believe. I think it's part 3 or part 4, I'm not even sure. But I believe this is part 4. But anyways, we're going to start off with this one for number 300. Stormtrooper Exoskeleton. This one I did not get previously. I mean, not previously. For a few Pixel Gun updates ago. However, I did get this during the actual update where they did like a new change up for the matches, which is kind of like almost similar to Brawl Stars a little bit. This one I would say is decent for casual players, but it's not OG and 3 cat spammable. Well, technically it is 3 cat. No, technically it is OG, but it's not 3 cat spam, unfortunately. But this one I'm gonna say is decent for casual players and for beginners. Well, once the actual set comes out for the event and all that. Next one is the Sniper Exoskeleton. This one is just all the way up to the top. It's OG and 3 cat spam. I have nothing much to say because the only simple thing you only get for this is only 20 ammo usage for this, and it's really helpful for this. Demo Exoskeleton, also good for cat spam, and is also OG as well too, but it's also good for rocket jumps. Hitman Exoskeleton, excuse me for a second. Sorry, I thought I need to sneeze or something, but Hitman Exoskeleton, decent for casual players, but I never actually used this, which is my main one right here. I'm not sure about for cat spams and all that stuff, but it's just decent, but I just never used this weapon before, and I never touched it for a very long time. Berserk Exoskeleton, this one never used before, and I recommend you guys to not use it because it's only good for like melee fights, and it's just gonna take a while for it if you're gonna use it for a knife party because of its chainsaw ability, and there's just like no way on actually getting some kills with it, unless they have like some higher modules and all that stuff. But I'm just gonna say I never used this, but I did technically use it when I first got it, but I just never touched it. Engineer Exoskeleton, this one I recommend you guys to not use it, and I never touched it for a very long time because the only downside is that it takes a very long time for it to actually like kill like an enemy. But the only issue of that being is like it takes a very long time because it's like a 3-second duration to actually kill an enemy. But if you have like higher modules, it'll be like 1 second per kill and all that stuff. But I say I never use this, but the only good side about that, it has like a lifesteal, I believe. Yes, it does. Move up next is... I can't speak right today, sorry. Moving up next is the Death Claws. This one is a similarity to another type, which I'm not going to say yet because I have no clue if I already told about this or not. But this one, judging by the actual style of it, I think it's possible for a cat spam, but if you get pretty lucky on it, if it has like an actual delay on it, then probably not. So I'm just going to say it's decent for casual players and for beginners on this anyway. Eva. This one, I did not actually get for a few Pixel Gun updates ago before it was already introduced. But I did get this from a trader's van at least, which I'm not sure what type of trader's van it was. I think it was like a community trader's van. This one I would say is OG and 3 cat spam, really fun to use because of its area damage effect on this. Moving up next is the Space Disinfector. This one is good for cat spams, and I'm not sure if it's OG or not because it's also still good for like it has good area damage, but I'm not sure about the other ones, and I'm not sure about the reload time on this. There's another one like this as well too, but I'm not going to disclose the name yet because I'm not introduced to this one yet. Mega Gun. This one right here, I did not actually get this in time before they removed it from the armory, but however, I did get it in time before they put it back in, and I'm not sure if it's still in the armory or not, but the Mega Gun itself, I say, is decent for casual players or beginners. This one's similar to, I believe, the Sub-Zero, which I had said previously from one of the actual parts of my 100 tier list of Pixel Gun 3D weapons. Mega Gun, this one right here, I did not actually purchase it in time because I think it was like 1,500 coins, I believe it was, or like 1,450 or whatever it was. But as soon as people were using it, I looked around in the armory. I was like, "Where's it at?" Then I realized that they removed it because I believe it was like too overpowered or something, or like people were just using it for fun and was starting to get annoyed by some folks as well too because like one hit kill or something. And before they decide to do some changes and balance changes or whatever it is, but yeah, Mega Gun I would say is decent for casual players and for beginners. Laser Revolver, this one also decent for casual players and for beginners. Not cat spam or an OG weapon to use for because of its delay, I believe. Unless if you get pretty lucky on it, then yeah. Sword and Shield, this one's kind of similar to like one of the actual video game references, but this one right here, I don't even use this weapon that often, but I still use it for only like during like a clan meeting and all that stuff with my leader and the other folks as well too that I help out with the clan and all that stuff. But just FYI on that one. So it just makes me feel like I'm like a royal guard and protecting the leader and all that stuff. Just anything else happens, but this one I actually never use this in actual fights, like knife party or actual matches. So I never use this weapon for. You can still go for it for anything else, but it's for people's perspective. I would say it's decent for casual players for beginners, but to me, I never use this weapon only for like actual like occasions for like clan meetings and all that stuff. Last Samurai. This one's similar to as the katana, which was previously changed it up a little bit. But the Last Samurai, it's the same story as the katana, but I rarely even use this, but to me, I never used this and touched it for a very long time. So I'd say it's probably decent for casual players for beginners at low level. The I'm so gonna get I'm I'm so gonna mispronounce this name if I get a little bit copyright struck on this one, but Manga Gun. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name, but yeah. But this one, I recommend you guys to not get this because it's a similarity as the big facility gun because it's a charge shot and it takes a very long time. But on the bright side, it does not have a gravitation force effect on it, which is really more helpful. But the only issue is that it's a charge shot and with the area effect. The only thing you have to do about it is you have to actually hit directly on the enemy itself, like on contact. So this one, I recommend you guys to not actually use it. Anime Scythe, I did actually get this in time before I had to update my phone to get the actual Pixel Gun update before they actually changed it up a little bit. So I believe this one was in the trader's van right before I had to update my phone real quick. So I just did perfectly in time and all that. I never even touched this weapon before, even once or twice. But I believe this one, I recommend you guys to not actually use this weapon, but you can still do it if you like. But the only downside, it has a very long delay to actually start the attacks, like the actual attacking phase. Like, if you want an actual example, I can show you right now. Like, right before you start the attack, it has a very long delay on this anyway, so I recommend you guys to not actually use this weapon, but if you want just for fun of it, and just actually try it out if you like, this one right here I recommend you guys to not actually go for anyway. So I'm gonna say never used it. Nitrogen sprayer, I also did not use this weapon as well too, because I'm not more of a flamethrower kind of guy, but I'm more like a kind of like a OG and 3 cat spam kind of guy. But for flamethrowers, not really. So this one I could probably say is decent for casual players for beginners, and I never used these weapons before. So any type of flamethrowers, never used them, and I would say it's also decent for casual players and for beginners. Future Police Rifle, this one I never actually touched because there's a similarity to this one, but I'm not sure what the actual name is, and I'm not even sure if I actually said it previously, but this one I would say is decent for casual players and for beginners, but I never touched it, so recommended for casual players and for beginners at low level once they actually get this weapon right here. The stake gun, never actually touched it before, so it's also like a minigun as well too, but previously, like I said about the flamethrower, it's also similar to like the minigun because I never touch any miniguns or flamethrowers for any type of weapons I do for matches, but if it's for more like clan tasks, best thing to use for right here, but for main actual thing, I would say is probably decent for casual players and for beginners. Monster Blaster, I believe it's also a cat spam weapon, but this one I recommend for decent players and casual for beginners, but I actually never touched this weapon before. Almost like 85% of these weapons I'm just calling out, I never actually touched, but I'm just only giving recommendations to folks who actually want to try it out sometime. Plasma Cutter, this one never touched, but possibly for cat spams, but recommended for actual decent casual players and for beginners. Good Doctor, decent for casual players and for beginners. Never actually touched it, and not possible for cat spams. Devastator, yes for cat spams, and decent for casual players and for beginners, but I'd actually never touched it. Supercharged Rifle, kinda touched it and used it before, but I would say is decent and also good for cat spams. The Archangel, never touched it before, and think it's not possible for cat spams on this, unfortunately. But it's good for casual players. The Manticore, not possible for cat spams. Never even touched it. It's similar to the Alien Cannon, but I just never touched it, and it's not good for cat spams, but it also is decent for casual players. Soul Thief, similarity as the Manticore, never touched it. Kind of possible for cat spams, but also good for decent casual players and for beginners. The Multitaskers, kind of possible, but I never even touched these. I believe only once, but I'm not sure when exactly. But it is also decent for casual players, at least. Good and Evil, these ones I actually never touched, and it has a pretty low damage rate, but if you have like higher modules, if you use these for like Knife Party, go right ahead, but if you get like pretty lucky chances on them, then I would probably say it's OG and 3 cat spammable, I believe, but for this one I'm just going to say is decent. Last Hope, I did actually get this weapon from the 16.0.0 update when Pixelgun introduced a new actual mechanic into the game where they now revamped any type of matches you play, which is like I said, similar to like Brawl Stars a little bit. But this one it did actually get, and also when it was introduced to the gallery section as well too, where people were doing a little glitch as well too to like whatever they don't even have on their list for like a question mark, then they can just go ahead and just get it right away for coupons. But they did actually patch it up. So Last Hope, I would say, is an OG and 3 cat spam weapon on this one, and probably decent for casual players. Jet Tenderizer. This one is going to be an OG weapon right here, and possible for 3 cat spams. The only downside of it is a charge shot and has an area damage, but you have to be very lucky on it when you have a fully charged and close to the enemy to actually get the timing of it correct on it. Like once you get actually fully charged up and you're still running around, you have to be like very lucky on the hit anyway. Like you have to be super close to it. But if someone else is using it as well too, and just for fun as well too, when they have like higher modules, aka max modules, then it's like really like OP. So just FYI on that one right there for you guys. So I would say it's OG and 3 cat spam and possible on luck if you actually get it for one hit as well too. Energy Drill, I recommend not to get it, but if you just want to get it for a collection, go right ahead. Energy Drill, it's a charge shot, but it's very long time for actually to get fully charged up. And this one, I tested out once, and it's not that good at all. Spender, this one I didn't actually get, but I did actually believe get it from the Trader's Van from the St. Patrick's Day event, I believe, or no, I think I actually got this from the lottery. And when I looked into the gallery and tried to see if I can get it, you only had to actually get it from the lottery itself. You can't purchase it from the actual coupons to exchange it. Because there's some there is some weapons that are still like actually you can get, but you need to actually win them from the actual lottery because it just seems like it'd be too like easy to get. So you actually like to work for it to grind it anyway. And I believe you actually get this from the actual novice chest, I believe, which is the blue one. Or it could be from the winner's chest, which is the red one. I'm not sure about the fighters, though. But this one is possible for a cat spam, but I believe this one, I'm just going to say, is decent for casual players and beginners. And it's still used as sometimes for like holiday occasions, for like St. Patrick's Day. Pizza Heater, this one, I'm going to say it's a flamethrower type, but I'm going to say never used it before and recommend to not actually get it. Acid Pistol, this one not possible for cat spams, good for casual players, but I never touched it before. Rhino, this one similarly to another weapon which I'm not going to disclose yet, or I believe I did actually call it out. But this one's similar to like the heavy shotgun, but this one has a pretty good fast fire rate for a type of shotgun. Like it's just like rapid fire, but this one kind of decent for casual players, but it's also good for cat spams, but I never even touched it. The Antique Pistol, possible for cat spams, good for casual players, but actually never touched it. Lava Thrower, this one I believe is good for decent. I can't speak right. This one is good for decent casual players, never even used before, and also possible for not even cat spams, I believe, as well. There is another one like this, which is, I believe, called the Napalm Cannon. That one was unfortunately removed from the game, but it was also got back for a limited time thing when you get from the lottery event. So this one's a closer substitute. If you don't have the Napalm Cannon, you can still get the Lava Thrower, which I believe is the same similarity, but has like a different type of effects of it as well too. Inventor's Rifle, this one I actually never touched before. Decent for casual players and good for cat spams, but I just never touched it. Vandals, I actually use these several times for during like matches and all that stuff, and also used for raids as well because of its skin as well too, which I believe is called the Ice Cult Dragon skin, which you get from the Trader's Van, which is from a Christmas time season event. So this one's good for decent casual players and for beginners, but not for cat spams. Revolver Sniper Rifle, this one I rarely even use, but good for casual players and excellent for cat spams. but I barely even use this weapon anyway. The Captain, there's another weapon like this, but I forgot what the name is. Never even touched it before, but kind of decent, but never used for cat spams. Void Energy Pistol, never even touched it before. Decent for casual players, but not sure about for cat spams. Destruction System, excellent for cat spams, good for casual players, and I've been using it multiple times for swapping back and forth for cat spam wise stuff. And it's always my go-to thing because of its area damage effect. The Circus Cannon. This one is a good substitute if you don't have the Big Buddy or the Anniversary Big Buddy. But Circus Cannon is a good weapon to use for cat spams and also decent for casual players and for beginners. But Big Buddy has a way difference than Circus Cannon because Circus Cannon has 4 ammo usage, while Big Buddy only has 3. But it has it's same reload as well too, and also for whenever like you need to start doing another thing, like for example for like this reload right here, like once you fire it, it takes a while for it to like reload for one time as well too to do another one again. But the reload is like pretty quick as well too once you do this as well too. It's similar as Big Buddy, but Circus Cannon has like +1 ammo usage while Big Buddy only has like 3. So I would say is decent for casual players and also good for cat spams if you have a lucky amount, enough time to actually reload quick before anything else happens. Military Grenade Launcher. This one, good for casual players, not good for cat spams, and I never touched it before. The Cyborg Hands. I believe this one was my very first mythical weapon to actually get from the actual event. I'm not sure about the other ones, but I think this was my first ever primary that I got from mythical that I got from the actual event set for having like the actual cyborg actual things when anything else happened like that. But these ones I would say is decent, but not good for cat spams. And I barely even touched this like even once when I first got it. Ritual Blade, decent for casual players, possible for cat spams, but I never even touched it for like a very long time. Tactical Rifle, similar to like this, but not possible for cat spams. Sparkling Eel, I believe this one had like a balance change for a big buff for this, and I kind of actually used it once because I used like the poison darts or the necklace of the Ice King, but this one right here is possible for possible. This one's excellent for cat spams, but you have to actually be like directly on contact with the enemy if you get like pretty lucky on it as well too, because of its chain damage effect as well. Alien Sniper Rifle, never even touched it before, possible for cat spams, and also good for decent casual players and for beginners. Neutralizer, this one I believe I never even touched, but I did actually get it for a few years ago, but I never even played with it. So it's decent for casual players and for beginners, not good for cat spams, and never even touched it before. We're halfway there. Next up is Bone Sniper Rifle. This one's good for cat spams, good for casual players and for beginners, but I actually never touched it before. Prehistoric Shotgun, barely even used it before, like once or twice, but I never even touched it for a very long time. Good for cat spams, and also sometimes good for decent casual players as well too, and for beginners as well too for low level once they actually get this weapon from like a lottery event. The Shaman's Bow, not sure about cat spams, possible for casual players and for beginners, but I never even touched it before. Poison Darts, don't need to say more about it because it's an OG and 3 cat spam weapon. Most of the time people use this for cat spams. Primal Beast, This one's good for cat spams, good for casual players. I barely use this for quite a while whenever anything else happens. And it's not good for rocket jumps. The Eye of Ra, this one I never even touched, but I did actually get it for a collection because the only downside of it's charge shot. And I'm not sure about rocket jumps on it, but I recommend guys to not actually use it. It's not good for cat spams. You can still use it for casual players as well too. For any like type of folks who are casual players, they can still use it, but I never touched it for a very long time once I actually got it. Which is the same similarity as the Eva as well too. The Gum Rifle, similar to like the Balloon Cannon, this one not good for cat spams, decent for casual players, but I never even touched it. Bone Crusher, never even touched it for a very long time, except I did use it for quite a while in Knife Party, but recommend to not actually get it. Soda Launcher, this one's similar to like the Pumpkin Thrower, which is a Halloween version of this. But this one I barely don't even use that often. I'll use it for like collection wise, but not sure about possible for cat spam, but it is decent for casual players though. Rocket Launcher, good for cat spam, but you only get to use one rocket at a time when you have to reload it. So I had to be very lucky on it, and you had to be very lucky on the reload as well too before someone else gets you. Royal Fighter, this one's really good, but it's not good for cat spams, but it is decent for casual players. So for especially like Battle Royale as well too, when you get very lucky on the hit as well too, because it has a very good fast fire rate. Royal Revolver, this one not for cat spams, decent for casual players. I never even used it. I believe this was the only weapon right here I did not get to complete the actual set because I had like the fighter, the sniper, and the Ashbringer as well. But I did not get this one in time. But I believe I did get it right before it was introduced into the lottery, and I believe it was like 1,000 tickets you had to get. Because I believe these three were in the trader's van, but this one wasn't. Next one is the Royal Sniper Rifle. This one is possible. Why do I keep saying possible? I gotta stop saying that. Royal Sniper Rifle, excellent for casual players. Maybe for cat spam, but I never even touched this weapon until like once I actually got it. Ashbringer, this one I believe was my first introduction to actually for this weapon right here for the heavy section, because I use this for like cat spams, but not sure about rocket jumps though. It is good for rocket jumps and good for cat spams as well too, and also good for casual players. The Penalizer, this one actually never got during the actual Trader's Van when I'm trying to figure out what the word is I'm trying to say right here. The Penalizer and the other two guns I actually never got because of huge issue storyline, which I'll tell you about one specific weapon of what the actual main issue was anyway, but just want to point out there for you guys. So this one is decent for casual players, but not good for cat spams, and never even touched it before. Fans Revolver, this one is possible for cat spams and good for casual players, but I never even touched it. Same thing for the football cannon as well too. Cursed Pirates, not possible for cat spams, good for casual players, but I never even touched it even once, or a few times. Viking, yes for cat spam, yes for casual players, but I barely use this sometimes if I want to swap out a shotgun type for cat spams. Gladiator, yes for cat spams, yes for casual players. I barely used this weapon even once or a few times when it was in the trader's van, but only downside is it has no scope on it. So Yeah. Heart of Volcano. This one right here, yes for cat spams, and yes for casual players. This one's the OG weapon when it was already introduced, I believe the first ever Pixel Pass. But I did not actually get this because it was introduced into the actual 16.0.0 update where it had like a whole bunch of revamp matches where you had to wait until you get more keys to actually grind and all that stuff. And I believe in the trophy road as well too. This was in here, but the first thing I had to get was a big buddy. I got the big buddy in time, I believe, but I did not get the Heart of Volcano because it kept extending the trophy road even more. And right before they totally rechanged the matches gameplay to figure out which one you want to do, it totally was like removed. But I did get this from the actual choose your choose your choice weapon of like what you like, and then you just purchase it. Then you finally got it. The blighter, um, similarly to another weapon right here, which I'm not going to disclose yet because I did not have a chance to say it yet. Uh, kind of for cat spams, yes for casual players, but I never even touched it. Neon Fighter, no for cat spams, yes for casual players, never even touched it. War Master, no for cat spams, yes for casual players, never even touched it. It's a similarity as the mech rifle, where like when you're a robot, you have like one of these actual like guns right here, but this one I never even touched. Same thing as for the other one as well too. Combat Slinger, yes for cat spams if possible, yes for casual players, but never even used it. Paintball rifle, this was my ever first and got a clan weapon before they did a rechange on the actual clans update. Yes for cat spams, yes for casual players, and I never even touched it for a very long time when I first actually got it. I believe it was like at level 32 when I first actually got it. And I need to know when actually yeah, I'm not even sure because I believe I was playing on the PC, but I did not actually get the Steam version of it because it was still not even introduced to the Steam version yet. But this one is a yes for cat spams and yes for casual players on this. Laser rings, no for cat spams, yes for casual players. Never even touched it for a very long time. Particle accelerator, yes for cat spams, and yes for casual players, but I never touched it for a very long time when I first got it. Ritual revolvers, yes for cat spams, and yes for casual players. And it's also a really good thing as well too for like backup if you run out of ammo and need more time as well too, or just go like all out and just have fun of it as well too. Spellabats, kinda for cat spams, yes for casual players, but I barely use this even once for like Halloween events. Dead Man's Rifle, definite yes for cat spams, yes for casual players. I only use this for like Halloween version though only. Witch Hunter, yes for cat spams, yes for casual players, and I'll use this for like Halloween events just in case. Industrial Nailer, this one right here, uh, not for cat spams, yes for casual players, and I never even touched it like once or twice I believe for a few years ago. Trick or Treat, I only use this for Halloween events. Yes for cat spams and yes for casual players, but I only use this for like Halloween events. Ghost Launcher, I only use this for Halloween events. Yes for cat spams and yes for casual players. And finally, Poisonous Vine, sorry. No for cat spams, yes for casual players, and I only use this for like Halloween events on this. And that is part 4 of the 100 tier list for Pixel Gun 3D. I decided to do this one instead because once the PC version got out, I could actually just go over to this instead of going over to like a different website back to back and do this all over again because it's gonna be too much waste of a time. So I decided to just do this instead anyway. But that is part 4 done. Part 5 will be coming out pretty soon, which has a very big storyline of this as well too, if you guys want to hear about that. So just keep an eye out for that. I will see you guys next time, and don't forget to keep an eye out for part 5. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.